Hey all, amidst the growing angst, fear and uncertainty that this pandemic has created, I would like to offer some advice and some comfort as teachers and students are making a change from conventional learning to online classes. It's a scary time, no doubt, with a lot of things unknown, so it's not going to be 100% productive from the get-go. There will be a lot of trial and a lot of error as teachers are trying to implement the best strategies and the best methods to ensure that each student is benefiting from this new system. During a time of such uncertainty and extraordinary circumstances, it's best to remain patient and hopeful. As online learning is a fairly new concept to many students, parents and teachers, it can be met with confusion and uncertainty. So I've put together some tips and some advice to hopefully ease the transition from conventional classes to online learning in terms of how to stay focused and how to make the most out of this time. To set the tone for these tips, I want to premise them by saying that online learning should be taken seriously. This is valuable learning time that, if taken seriously, can significantly benefit you as a student. So it's important that you don't take this for granted and you treat it with the same level of maturity and importance as you would with normal school. The first tip is to create a study plan. This will help you conquer the day ahead and set up your desk. But make sure this is done the night before. Just as you pack your bag the night before school, filling it with contents relevant to the day ahead, this serves a similar purpose. Instead of packing your bag per se, you will set up your desk with all the relevant resources and textbooks that you need for the next day. In addition to setting your desk, write a plan for the following day, which includes the classes you need to virtually attend and at what times, alongside any study breaks and any food breaks. The reason I say to do this the night before, say, and not the morning of, is because it gives you time to mentally prepare yourself, hopefully increasing your productivity and decreasing any anxiety or confusion that you may have. When you wake up the next morning, you have a clear plan of attack that you can execute without needing to think much of. Implementing this into your daily routine will allow you to develop a habit that is indispensable to the success of online learning. The next piece of advice centers around creating a suitable learning environment free of any distractions. Choose a place in your home, whether it's in your room or a place with a free table, to house all your study resources and textbooks. This will be the place in which you spend the majority of your time learning. By marking an area in your house that is to be used exclusively for study means that when you are in this space, you can remain focused and productive, as you have now associated the idea of learning and the emotions that come with it with that space. The same way that you perhaps associate reverence and silence with a place of worship, this space in your house will evoke feelings of productivity and learning. The features that make up this space are important too. It must have all the resources that you need to effectively study, including textbooks, laptops, any stationary items, and of course a water bottle. The things that are in closest proximity to you and that are directly in front of you will have a large impact on your ability to stay focused and productive. You can choose to stick information up on the walls or notes, or perhaps even some goals or motivational sayings to keep you going. However, more importantly than what exists in this space is what doesn't exist: distractions. Distractions are most damaging to your learning. Eliminating them is no easy task, especially when they're constantly around you and may feel inescapable, but you need to make a conscious effort to reduce these down to a minimum in which they do not impact your learning. During a class, consider perhaps turning off your phone to avoid losing focus every time a notification pops up, or simply remove it from your vision completely to avoid you from touching your phone and losing focus. Out of sight, out of mind. Laptops can also pose a distraction, even though they are the main tool for learning. You can enable the do not disturb function, but if you're still having trouble resisting temptations from visiting certain websites, consider downloading website blockers. These are a great tool for eliminating distractions that compete for your attention. They work by blocking certain apps to avoid you from using them. Some of these apps include Focus, Freedom, and Cold Turkey. Also, something as simple as using the full screen function can remove any notification and app icons, making it easier to remain focused and productive. The third tip is being an active learner. The biggest problem with online learning is how to remain mentally present and actively learning. This is a challenge with conventional classes, but becomes an even bigger problem with online classes as the distractions around you are endless. Some tips to help you remain actively present and learning is to rewrite material or notes in your book during class. Ask questions as you normally would in a conventional setting, and of course, following the 2 previously mentioned tips. And finally, sleep. Use the fact that you have more free time to increase the quality and the quantity of your sleep. I know you hear this time and time again, but it's truly incredible what sleep can do to your mental functioning and your approach to learning. If you're someone that struggles with sleep due to distractions, I highly recommend placing your phone on the opposite side of the room. This serves 2 functions. The first, of course, is to avoid you from getting distracted while you're trying to sleep. And the second is that when you wake up in the morning and your alarm goes off, you're forced to get up out of bed in order to turn off the alarm. And once you're up, you're more likely to stay up. Ultimately, it comes down to you. You have been given the power to choose what to do with your time and what you will learn. You will not get this time back to relearn the content or to redo the assessments. It's so easy to let yourself go and become distracted, but by following such simple rules and restrictions, you can be on the way to maximal productivity and learning. The benefits of online learning will reach far beyond the immediate, that is, learning the content in a more convenient way. This method of learning will teach you independence, accountability, perseverance, and adaptability. These skills will help you in the future with any tertiary studies or self-directed learning and will make you more equipped with the skills necessary for learning in this new age of technology.